There, so you know.
Sure.
Okay, you're good.
Hit the mouse down, go back in and redo it again.
Shouldn't have to. And then when we're done, just hit stop encoding and turn it off. Don't do anything. Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
All right.
All right, I'll be looking, John.
Okay.
All set, sir.
No problem, no problem. Okay, hey, good evening. Welcome to the Town of Clifton Park Town Board meeting for February 6th. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Pat, if you will call the roll.
Councilman Whalen. Here. Councilman Standard. Here. Councilman Romano.
Here.
Councilman Waller. Supervisor Barron.
Here, entertain a motion to approve Town Board meeting minutes of January 9th and 17th.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallowit. Discussion. Okay, Pat.
Councilman Whalen.
Yes.
Councilman Standard. Yes. Councilman Romano.
Yes.
Councilman Waller. Yes. Supervisor Barron.
Yes, communications and announcements. Any takers this evening? Okay. A couple of quick things. Just a quick reminder that Winterfest is coming up this weekend. We have all kinds of great things going on. We do have pamphlets in the Parks Department as well as information on the website, cliftonpark.org. The two events that attract the most people are the Clifton Park Idol competition, which will be over by the food court, as it has been for the last 12 years now. I think we've been doing that a long time. And the soup contest, 2 to 4, that'll be in the Hilton. We have a whole bunch of restaurants, more than I think we've had in the past. 10 restaurants, Lauren?
11.
Oh, 11? Wow.
Yeah. They're all
Angelo's,
really.
Brick Tavern, Costa Panay, Peddlers, Primal, Ravenswood, Rocco's, Rusty Nail 7, Vista, Wheatfield. Yeah. So 2 to 4. We also have other festivities that'll be taking place. So I won't go through the whole list because it is long. Oh, and the Clifton Park Community Chorus will be at the mall at 11. So there's a reason to get there a little early before the festivities begin. That is the festivities, right? I meant other festivities, right? So the other thing is just a quick update on a National Grid initiative. We've talked about that. We've had some meetings on it, and they've been here to present to us their pilot program. Clifton Park was chosen by National Grid for a pilot program. Just to quickly go over the basics, National Grid is going to change out meters of homeowners in Clifton Park to what they're calling smart meters. Now, you're automatically going to be in the program unless you choose to opt out. So, why would you opt out? I'm not sure. It's free. It won't cost you anything to be a part of the program. But what they will do, and there's no reason for, I mean, there's a very, very small percentage of homes that don't have outside meters. So I guess for the very small percentage of homes that don't have outside meters, they would have to make an appointment with you to change out the meter. But for a vast majority of the town, that will not be necessary. They'll come and change out the meter to a smart meter, and what they're going to do is offer all kinds of online tools and ways for you to track your energy usage on a real-time basis. And they're also going to offer incentives for you to reduce your electric use and to use, if you have heavy energy use, whether it's an electric car or you're doing loads of laundry, things of that nature, doing those types of things in off-peak hours, into the evening, 7 o'clock or later, that time frame. And what they're trying to do is to test, and this is in partnership with the PSC of New York State, test one, if people have real-time information about their energy usage, will it affect their behavior? Will they use less energy? Will they take those steps? Will they use the tracking tools? And will they try to move their peak usage to off-peak hours? And why would they do that? Well, they do that because what they try to do, what they'd like to do, is even out the energy usage within their entire system. You know, they build out a system for peak times, say during very cold months or very warm months when people are using a lot of energy, gas and electric. What they'd like to do is even those out, those peaks out as much as possible, because it does put less stress on their system and would eventually reduce the cost of delivering energy for the energy companies, and hopefully in turn reduce the price for consumers. So, so in effect, if you don't care about this program, if you're never going to use these analytical tools, if you have no interest whatsoever, or if you're looking forward to it and you'll watch your tracking of your energy every day, no matter, or if you're somewhere in between, the program will not cost you any money, and the only benefit you would receive is if you, one, use the tracking tools to track your energy in real time, and then, like I said, they will be offering incentives for the reduction of energy or using energy in off-peak hours. So there's a lot to it, but you're going to start receiving in the mail letters from National Grid explaining this program, and any questions should be forwarded to National Grid. They'll have customer service people that will answer any questions about the program. So, so basically, they selected Clifton Park, and we've decided to partner with them. So if they are going to implement this program, that it will be successful for as many people in town as possible that care to use the tools. Okay. So I know there's probably still lingering questions about it, but that more and more questions will be answered as the information is released, and that, again, that'll start this week. I also want to ask you to please keep Al Boskov in your thoughts and prayers. Mr. Boskov is ill, and so we're praying for him. Obviously, Mr. Boskov has been a tremendous friend to the town of Clifton Park, and we wish him nothing but the best. So I did send a note to him on behalf of the town and all the residents of Clifton Park. And we'll hope that he has a speedy recovery and we get to see him again soon. Okay, we'll go to business. We have a couple of presentations. We have a fine Eagle Scout amongst us this evening, Siddhant Chaturvedi, and Sue from Captain. But first, Pat, if you would read the resolution that we passed in Siddhant's honor.
Resolution number 25 of 2017, a resolution recognizing Siddhant Chaturvedi for attaining the rank of Eagle Scout in service to his community. Whereas Siddhant Chaturvedi has been active in scouting since he was 8 years old, and whereas Siddhant has participated in numerous indoor and outdoor activities throughout his time in Scouts, and has built upon these experiences and used these skills while participating in photography, Rotary, youth leadership, and Shenendehowa Speech and Debate Club. And whereas for his Eagle Scout project, Siddhant identified the need at the Shenendehowa campus for a suitable tribute to Shenendehowa students and alumni who served their country and community through the armed forces and first responder community. And whereas Siddhant conceived, designed, and constructed an honor wall at High School East consisting of a 3-panel, 59 by 48 inches oak display case in front of the entrance to the auditorium. And whereas the honor roll has the capacity to document the numerous Shenendehowa alumni who have served and will serve in America's armed forces for years to come. And whereas the center panel contains a digital photo frame which will run a continuous loop of photos and commemorations of Shenendehowa students and alumni who served, and whereas the honor wall calls attention to the body of current students as well as alumni who serve in local fire departments and volunteer firefighters and EMTs, and whereas Sedan's project required teamwork, dedication, and leadership to design and build the honor wall, which serves as a reminder to all who pass it of the services and contributions the Shenendehowa community has made to the freedom of our country and the safety of our community. And whereas such service is truly the lifeblood of the community, and the town board wishes to recognize effective community service among our residents and volunteers. Now therefore be resolved that the Clifton Park Town Board recognizes the leadership shown by Siddhant Chaturvedi and commends his achievement of Eagle Scout as worthy of the esteem of the community and of the town of Clifton Park, and be further resolved that a copy of this resolution be presented to Siddhant Chaturvedi.
Very good, thank you, Pat. Okay, I move that we approve the resolution with a second by the entire board. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standby?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Morley?
Yes.
Supervisor Bell?
Yes. Siddhant, front and center, sir. How are you tonight? Yes, please. Talk up nice and loud in that microphone. You can adjust it upward. There you go. So how are we doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Good. You know, your project was tremendous, and I remember the first time I saw it, I didn't know that you had done it at that point, but when I first walked by it, it's something that strikes you. I mean, it's so well done, professionally done, and it has a lot of meaning as well. Tell us a little bit about why you chose to embark on that project, and give us a little hint as to what went into it.
Well, I felt like it would be a different project than most people have done so far in scouting, and I felt like it could have a very big impact for years and years to come once I graduated high school even. And I think one of the big things that went into making the project was getting everybody to work together, because if I hadn't gotten everybody to work together, it would have been very disorganized. It wouldn't have looked good the way it does right now. And it can't just be, I would say, like the honor can't be delegated to one person. It's definitely to the entire scouting troop that I'm part of, who helped me along with the project.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, because there's some of these scout projects are big, they're involved, and certainly yours was. Tell us a little bit about all the work that went into it and some of the folks that helped you out along the way.
So my entire scout troop, so we helped raise money for it. Well, I was basically running that part of raising the money. And the Eagle Scout project in itself is to promote the idea of leadership in leading scouts instead of doing all the work yourself. So I think using the entire scout troop I had on hand was really helpful in that way to teach me those skills that I needed, that I might need later in life.
Right. A little delegation.
Delegation.
That's right. That's very important.
And so basically so I would delegate certain tasks to certain people depending on their strengths. And through this, I was able to get everything done in an orderly manner, get it done quite quickly, and spreading out the work between people instead of putting it all on one person or putting it all on a couple people. I think that would have been a bad idea, and doing it the way I was able to do it was actually good. So.
Good, good. And you wanted to obviously honor, first responders and veterans, correct?
They don't, I think currently we don't give them as much recognition as they deserve. They fight for our country and they work inside our country, like the first responders and firefighters. They keep our homes and communities safe from natural disasters or things that could happen to certain people. Because I've talked to a couple of EMTs, and they've told me like stories that they've been through, and it's quite interesting how something that you don't think could happen to you can happen to you. So I feel like it really hit close to home, knowing that what I could do could actually help benefit and recognize people who don't get as much recognition as they deserve.
Well, it's very important because selfishly, you know, we're all busy. We go about our busy lives, and sometimes we forget they're there until we need them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's, so we should definitely never forget their service, and it's projects like yours that ensure that we won't. And I think that's the power of what you did.
Okay, thank you.
You betcha. And you're right, it will go on long after you leave Shen. What year are you in?
I'm a junior, so yeah.
Fantastic. So what do you want to do in another year? So, but have you thought about what you want to do after Shen?
Obviously go to college. Yeah, I am leaving this year. I'm going to be going on a foreign exchange trip for
Oh, wow.
a whole year.
Oh, nice. Where are you going?
Budapest, Hungary,
Wow, good for you. Good for you.
and that's through the Rotary Youth Exchange. Very interesting program.
And what are you, there were some other things mentioned that you're involved with at Shen. What are those activities?
I'm part of the yearbook club, the speech and debate club. I used to swim for 2 years, but I had to drop that since I just had a giant course load this year.
Right.
And then, what else? I'm part of Interact, which is a offshoot of Rotary. It's their like teen version of it. So basically, it's 12 to 18-year-olds doing basically their own projects, working with Rotary to help them on projects. Like one of our projects right now is, well, one of Rotary's projects in general is to end polio.
Mm-hmm.
From I think 1970s to now, they went from 37,000 cases to like 43 cases.
Wow.
They've ended polio in numerous amount of countries. There are 3 countries left: Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Nigeria, I think.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's a great thing to be a part of.
And so we help them with that. I think it's just a nice organization to be a part of.
Well, great job. We're proud of you. I mean, this is an incredible project, a long road to Eagle. You started as a very young man, and now you're almost off to college, and now you're an Eagle Scout. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Susan's going to take our picture.
Okay.
Okay, so smile big. Are you on the smile team?
1, 2, 3. One more. Thank you.
All right, why don't we get your parents up here? You can see your dad's been taking a lot of pictures. Now we're going to take his picture. Hold on, Laura.
You have it all set up? Press that? Okay.
All right.
There we go. All right.
One over here.
Oh, one over here. Hold on. Let me get a
I was getting the
different
side
angle
view
here.
there. All right. 1, 2, 3. And one more. There you go.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Fantastic.
Oh, you're welcome.
I know your parents are very proud of you, as they should be. John Scavo didn't make it tonight. I want to see if he saw the game lesson. The Patriots won. Tom Brady, turned his comeback. Yeah, he might be upstairs listening, but I'm kidding because I caught him rather early this morning. Wanted to make sure he saw the game. Okay, Sue Petropoulos here from Captain. Certainly a familiar face to all of us. She's here to give us an update on the goings-on at Captain, and you can adjust that if you like, Sue.
All right.
How you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. And thank you for having me tonight and getting me into the agenda.
Sure.
And really tough act to follow over there. Nice job. First thing I'd like to do is thank the town council for the support that you guys give to Captain year after year. You have no idea how far those funds go toward helping people in our own community. In fact, just a short little story. A couple of weeks ago, I got a call from a Captain supporter who was on her way out of Price Chopper. She was driving home. She called me on a Bluetooth to tell me that there was a young lady in a pink coat sitting on the road coming out of Price Chopper holding a sign. She said, I went by, I didn't really read the sign, but obviously she's in some kind of distress. Is there something you can do? So we sent someone over and offered to buy her a cup of coffee in Price Chopper, and got to talk to her a little bit. Turns out her boyfriend of several years had just thrown her out of the house. She'd been homeless for a couple of days. It was during that real cold snap not too long ago. And she was hungry. She hadn't eaten or whatever. So we bought her some, got her a meal, got her set up with housing for the night, and got her in touch with a friend of hers or a relative or somebody who was able to come and get her the next day and house her. So those are just the kinds of things, we run into on a pretty regular basis, and it does keep them off the streets of Clifton Park, keeps them out of the, the malls and collecting money that way. And so we're able to help out. But what I did was I put together a quick little report so that you can have it to see the kinds of things we did last year. And if you look on the first page, our CAPTEEN program, similar to what this young man is doing over here, we have about 150 teenagers from the Shenandoah School District who are part of a volunteer group for Captain. We call them the CAPTEENs. And they do a number of things. They run a teen talk line, an RUOK text line, where other kids can call in or text in challenges or problems that they're having, and they're working with other people their age to help them solve these problems. There's always an adult nearby if something comes up that they don't know how to deal with, but it's peer-to-peer counseling. They also do a lot of projects around town, one of which is the Winterfest. They've been taking part in the Winterfest year after year. They do face painting and activities with the kids in the mall during Winterfest. So that's a really neat program. It's a leadership development program. The next one is our Runaway and Homeless Emergency Youth Shelter. It's located up in Malta. Last year we housed a little over 100 kids. We can house them for up to 30 days. These are runaway or homeless kids who otherwise wouldn't have any other place to go. Our goal is to unite them with family whenever possible and whenever appropriate, and that was appropriate in 84% of the cases. In the other cases, we were able to find them stable housing once they left us. And 9 of those kids that came through the program last year were from, actually, the town of Clifton Park. Next is our street outreach program, which basically is a program designed to proactively connect with kids on the street who are homeless, nearly homeless, runaways, and we offer all kinds of services to them. Last year we were able to get 68 kids safely to exit the streets, and I know that sounds like a funny term, safely exiting the streets, but for some of them it's difficult. Some of them are involved in gangs, some of them are involved with trafficking, which is a fairly new thing that we've gotten involved in Saratoga County in the last couple of years. And last year, 11 of those youth that we got off the street were being trafficked, and we were able to help them to safely exit the streets. So that program has been pretty, we're very, very robust, we're very active in the community with our street outreach program. Family assistance, we help families who are in crisis for whatever reason. We help them with basic needs such as rent, utilities, fuel oil, things like that can lead to housing instability. For instance, we had one gentleman come in last week, and he hadn't been in months and months. He's really stable, doing very well, but he had car problems. And because of the car problems, he couldn't get to work. And because he couldn't get to work, they were going to, he was going to lose his job, and one thing after another. So we were able to help him get his car fixed so that all of that didn't happen, and he was able to stay stably housed and feed his family and so on and so forth. So those are the kinds of things that we do. Family development, same thing. We do have a mentorship program where we work with families who are in crisis to kind of help them with things like budgeting and just helping them get back on their feet. Everybody in Clifton Park, I think, knows about Captain's Treasures. It's our next to new shop, and either you bring your gently used clothing and house goods there, or you're there shopping because we offer really good bargains. We also give away a lot of goods throughout the year to families that are in need. They can come in and they can shop on a voucher, so nobody has to know that they are in need. But they're able to get the kinds of things that they need from us. We have an outreach in the park program over at Cheryl's Lodge, which is in Half Moon Heights. But we have an after-school program, and there are a lot of our CAP teens, and we have many volunteers from Clifton Park who go over there and help with the after-school programs with the kids. Our Bike Works program, we basically take gently used bikes, we recycle them, and we get them back out to people who otherwise wouldn't have either transportation to work or school or after-school activities, those kinds of things. And I'm happy to say that 38 of those bikes of the 93 we gave away last year, 38 of them were to youth and adults in the town of Clifton Park. Job Assist program matches kids, teens with jobs in the community, and 47 youth participated last year in that program. Our food pantry was up, usage was up 2% this year. Over almost 3,000 people were given food through our food pantry program. We also let other organizations use our facility. We have a big meeting room, so things like AA, there's some tutors from Shenandoah who use that room to work with kids, the American Red Cross, Legal Aid, food stamps, Family Health Plus, people can sign up for health care at Captain. They can also, food stamps, domestic violence counseling, and so on happens in that room. So we're happy to share that with other groups that help people. We have holiday giving programs like crazy. We give out food baskets at Thanksgiving, toys and holiday gifts to folks who otherwise wouldn't have a holiday. And finally, our volunteer program. Captain would not exist without our volunteers. We have last year we had 480 volunteers who helped us carry on our programs. We couldn't have done it without them, and we consider ourselves very, very fortunate to live in or to be housed in a community that is so giving of not only themselves, their time, but their gifts. So just wanted to share that with you and let you know we're alive and well and doing great things in Clifton Park, and happy to be here and happy to be part of the team.
Very good. Well, thank you. Any questions for Sue?
I have one.
Yes.
On the traffic agreement.
Yeah.
I assume that you have a discrete relationship with law enforcement
Oh, yeah.
with that. Are you able to make some kind of an impact?
Oh, absolutely. We work with the FBI. We work with local police, sheriff's departments, and the state police. And when they see, it's been an education process over the last couple of years, because a lot of times what'll happen, they'll pick up a young woman for prostitution. Well, if you're 16, you're not a prostitute, you're being exploited. And so we are able to, the police now, instead of arresting them and further victimizing them, what they'll do is they'll call us, and then we can, get in there and work with this young lady and help her to get off the streets and away from her trafficker.
Has there been any prosecution?
Yes, there has. Yes, there has. Absolutely. We do our best to get the traffickers off the street.
How was the, well, it's not brand new, but how's the new location for the Treasures?
It's doing very, very well. It's so much
it's
more...
much nicer.
Yes, well, it's so much more visible. It's a newer building.
Right.
So, yes, we have seen an increase in sales since we moved.
Good.
So we're very happy.
Good.
And switch to the cookie factory.
Well, that helps too. Yeah. Oh, and also, you were talking about the Winterfest, Bill. There's
Yes.
another new thing happening in the Winterfest through Rotary, actually. It's the Shen Rotary, is doing outhouse races.
Right.
Yes, and the proceeds from that are going to benefit Captain, so that we're trying to save money to buy a van so that we can have more than one van out on the street doing street outreach with the kids. So,
And hopefully there's a little bit of snow.
well, hopefully more than wheels in case there is.
Yeah, I know.
Well, thank you for
We
giving
got
me
plenty
an
of freezing rain this year. but
Yes,
not a lot of snow.
I know. They could put ice skates on them. But any other questions?
No, but thank you. We appreciate you coming very much.
Thank you.
And look forward to continued partnership.
Absolutely, thanks.
Thank you, Sue. All right, we have several resolutions on the agenda tonight. Pat, if you could read through those, and we'll consider each one individually. Take care, Sue.
A resolution appointing Jonathan Schultz as chairman of the Industrial Development Agency, whereas as of January 1st, 2017, a vacancy exists for the chairman of the Industrial Development Agency, and whereas the town board recommends that Jonathan Schultz, Bruno Road, Clifton Park, fill the position, and whereas Mr. Schultz's presence as chairman of the Industrial Development Agency will confer a benefit to the town of Clifton Park, now therefore be it resolved that Jonathan Schultz is hereby appointed to the Industrial Development Agency to fill the unexpired term of Anthony Morelli, term to expire December 31st, 2017, and be it further resolved that Jonathan Schultz is hereby appointed chairman of the Industrial Development Agency. A resolution appointing Keith Martin as a member of the Environmental Conservation Commission, whereas the resignation of Clarence Bassett has left a vacancy on the Environmental Conservation Commission, and whereas Keith Martin, Wall Street, Clifton Park, has been recommended to fill the position, and whereas Mr. Martin's presence on the Environmental Conservation Commission will confer a benefit to the town of Clifton Park, now therefore be resolved that Keith Martin is hereby appointed to the Environmental Conservation Commission to fill the unexpired term of Clarence Bassett, term to expire December 31st, 2017. A resolution appointing Terrence Cosgrove as the alternate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals, whereas an opening exists for an alternate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals to be designated by the chairman as a voting member of the Zoning Board when a regular member is unavailable or ill, and whereas Supervisor Barrett recommends Terrence L. Cosgrove, Wall Street, Clifton Park, to fill the position, now therefore be resolved that Terrence Cosgrove is hereby appointed as an alternate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals, term to expire December 31st, 2017. A resolution authorizing the town highway superintendent to install a right lane must turn right sign on Clifton Park Center Road in the vicinity of the private driveway for Clifton Park Center Mall between the Olive Garden restaurant and Starbucks store. Whereas the town of Clifton Park Highway Safety Committee, through visual observations, has noticed a traffic conflict exists when vehicles turn from Clifton Country Road onto Clifton Park Center Road adjacent to the Olive Garden restaurant. And whereas 2 lanes exist heading in an easterly direction on Clifton Park Center Road until the first private driveway curb cut to the south for the Clifton Park Center Mall. And whereas vehicles in the southernmost travel lane heading east must turn into the Clifton Park Center complex, while the inside lane traveling in an easterly direction continues along Clifton Park Center Road. And whereas it is recommended by the Highway Safety Committee that an R37 sign be installed adjacent to the roadway and with the public right-of-way Clifton Park Center Road to provide lane assignment to drives in the southernmost travel lane heading east, that vehicles must turn right. Now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby authorizes the town highway superintendent to install an R37 sign in accordance with provisions of 2010, I don't know what that means.
MUTCD?
Yeah. And current New York State
Uniform Traffic.
Control Device.
Right.
How's that? Okay, thank you. And current New York
So
State.
you know,
I need a little help.
you need a little.
Current New York State supplemental within the right of way along Clifton Park Center Road, and be further resolved that such sign installation shall be completed when frozen ground conditions no longer impede the installation of such sign posts. A resolution awarding the contract for the repairs and upgrades as the old Knott Farm pump station at the old Knott Farm pump station. Whereas Michael O'Brien, collection system manager, has requested authorization to purchase piping and equipment to upgrade the operations of the old Knott Farm pump station, and whereas quotes were received and Emmons Pump and Control, Inc., Albany, New York, submitted the only conforming quote for piping and guide rail system removal and installation for an amount not to exceed $13,333. And whereas the sewer collection systems manager has determined that this upgrade will renew the pump station at a considerable savings over a full replacement, and whereas Michael O'Brien has recommended that the quote of Evans Pump and Control Inc. be accepted for rehab of the duplex pump station, including removal of existing guide rail system and piping and replacement. Now therefore be it resolved that the quote of Evans Pump and Control Inc., Albany, New York, be accepted for an amount not to exceed $13,333, and be further resolved that the controller is authorized to transfer $5,783 from the fund balance to the line item as listed for payment to Evans Pump and Control Inc. Resolution approving the 2017 summer recreation day camp and pool staff salary matrices for employees. Whereas the Director of Parks and Recreation has prepared the 2017 summer recreation day camp salary and pool staff matrices per Schedule A and B. Now they could be resolved that the Town Board hereby adopts the 2017 salary matrix for day camp salaries per Schedule A, and be further resolved that the Town Board also adopts the 2017 salary matrix for pool staff per Schedule B. A resolution authorizing the hiring of pool management for the 2017 season per the 2017 Summer Pool Directors Managers Schedule A. Whereas the Town Board wishes to hire management and training staff to operate the 3 town-owned pools for the 2017 season, and whereas the Town Board wishes to rehire the returning pool director and managers Dwayne Nichols, pool director, Brian Zerpak, pool manager, and Bruce Sutton, pool manager, for the 3 town-owned pools, as well as rehire David Sikowski as the Learn to Swim Director and Certification Trainer as per Schedule A, 2017 Summer Pool Directors and Managers. Now therefore be resolved that the individuals listed above and on the attached Schedule A are hereby hired as staff for the 3 town-owned pools, and be further resolved that all hires are effective with start dates and ending dates as per the attached Schedule A, 2017 Summer Pool Directors and Managers. A resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a 3-year contract for telephone and internet service with First Light. Whereas First Light, as successor to Tech Valley Communications, has provided telephone and internet service to the town through fiber optic cables installed in the town's facilities since 2012. And whereas the town wishes to upgrade its existing bandwidth in order to accommodate additional users anticipated as a result of upgrades to the town's website and Wi-Fi capacity. And whereas First Light has offered a competitive proposal for telephone and internet service at an upgraded bandwidth than previously supplied, and provides the town with an opportunity to lock in long-term rates of $1,065 per month, which will include local and long-distance telephone calling and 20 megabytes per second download by 20 megabytes per second upload speed internet service. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the attached 36-month service order form and contract with First Light, State Street, Albany, New York, retroactively from January 27, 2017 through January 27, 2020. Resolution rescheduling the February 21st, 2017 Town Board meeting to February 27, 2017. Whereas the third Town Board meeting for the month of February is scheduled for February 21st, 2017. And whereas the Town Board wishes to reschedule the meeting of the 21st of February, that it be resolved that the Town Board meeting scheduled for the February 21st, 2017 is hereby rescheduled to February 27th, 2017. Resolution appointing Andrew Casucci as the alternate member to the Emergency Services Advisory Board. Whereas an opening exists for an alternate member from the Bishop Ferry Fire District to the Emergency Services Advisory Board due to the resignation of Kevin Bowman. And whereas the Bishop Ferry Fire District recommends Andrew Casucci, Meadow Run, Clifton Park to fill the position, now therefore be resolved that Andrew Casucci is hereby appointed as alternate member from the Bishop Ferry Fire District to the Emergency Services Advisory Board for the unexpired term of Edward Bowman, term to expire December 31st, 2019. A resolution authorizing the lease of certain real property at the transfer station on Bishop Ferry Road. Whereas by resolution number 20 of 2015, the Town Board authorized a lease of certain real property at the CAP landfill at the transfer station on Bishop Ferry Road. And whereas the lease originally provided that lessee, now Clifton Park LF Solar LLC, as successor to Global Resource Options Inc., Grove Solar, would be responsible for all maintenance, including vegetation control, mowing at the site. And whereas the town wishes to maintain the area consistent with a meadow habitat to complement and expand adjacent areas at the site, which have been planted with wildflowers to enhance the natural grassland habitat. And whereas the town board is willing to assume responsibility for conducting the mowing operations within certain portions of the leased area, except areas within a 50-foot perimeter of the solar facilities, under certain terms and conditions. And whereas Clifton Park LF Solar LLS,
Yes.
should be yes?
No, it's all.
Say, okay. Has agreed to compensate the town for the actual cost of the mowing operations contemplated by the town, consistent with the town's wildlife management goals at the site. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisor is authorized to sign the attached amendment to the existing lease, which provides that the town will mow areas within the fenced area of the leased premises, excluding a 50-foot perimeter around all solar facilities, in exchange for a $1,200 annual maintenance fee. A resolution accepting easements from Jerry King Zing for a future multi-use pathway and a common ingress, egress, and utility easement. Whereas as a condition of approval of project of 2013, a 4-lot subdivision of 246 Lack Road, lands of Jerry King Zing of the town of Clifton Park, the town of Clifton Park Planning Board required that the applicant convey a 25-foot wide easement for a future multi-use pathway and utilities location. And whereas as a further condition of approval, the planning board also required a common ingress, egress, and utility easement to be conveyed, now therefore be resolved that the town board hereby accepts the conveyance of 25-foot wide easement for a future multi-use pathway and highway improvements, and a common ingress, egress, and utility easement, and be it further resolved that these conveyances are expressly conditioned upon the receipt of approval by the town attorney of all necessary documents, including review of the recorded deed in the Saratoga County Clerk's Office, provision of the tax, provision for payment of all taxes, recording fees, and assessments which are acceptable to the town attorney, and be it further resolved that there be appended to the written resolution a copy of the recorded conveyances after they have been filed with the Saratoga County Clerk.
Good. Any questions on the resolutions? Okay. If you could read the headings and we'll consider each resolution individually.
Resolution number 26 of 2017, a resolution appointing Jonathan Shope as chairman of the Industrial Development Agency.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Ms. Wallamet. Anthony Morelli is now the planning board chairman. He was appointed planning board chairman after attorney after Paul Pellegali. He is now a family court judge, moved on to that position. John Supervisor Shop will be chairman of the IDA for the foreseeable future. Any discussion? Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walworth? Yes. Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 27, 2017, the resolution appointing Keith Morton as a member of the Environmental Conservation Commission.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Ms. Wallet, and we thank Mr. Martin for stepping forward and wanting to volunteer on behalf of the town. He has a tremendous background and will be, with regard to environmental expertise, and we very much look forward to his participation on the ECC. Okay.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walworth?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 28 of 2017, a resolution appointing Terrence Cosgrove as the alternate member to the Zoning Board of Appeals.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Mrs. Standard. So I want to thank Mr. Cosgrove. Actually, we have two volunteers from the Bentley tonight, which is interesting. Mr. Cosgrove has a background in being a volunteer in the town of Colony for their sign board, sign review, and also the planning board. So he does have a good history and experience working with the types of matters that the zoning board will review on a regular basis, and that is sign and other general requests for relief from the zoning code. So we do thank him for stepping forward and volunteering on behalf of the town. Any discussion? Okay, Beth?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Supervisor Barry?
Yes.
Resolution number 29, 2017, a resolution authorizing the town highway superintendent to install a right lane must turn right sign on Cooper Park Center Road in the vicinity of the private driveway for Cooper Park Center Mall between Olive Garden Restaurant and Starbucks store.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wallowitz, second by Mr. Whalen. You've got a diagram here, a map of the location where the sign would be constructed. And the Highway Safety Committee has identified this area as being one that could use some additional signage to make sure that there's no confusion or of vehicle operators in that area. Is there any questions or comments?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walden?
Yes.
Supervisor Barry?
Yes.
Resolution number 30 of 2017, a resolution awarding the contract for the repairs and upgrades of the Old Mount Farm pump station.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. Hi, Mike, how are you?
Good.
Tell us about this initiative here.
Well, would be the second pump station that we have done this way. As the board knows, for us to replace a pump station today is upwards of $250,000. They're expensive. We have between the Clifton Park Sewer District and the Old Mount Farm Sewer District, a bunch of pumps that are perfectly fine. So we found that having a smaller company come in and just replace the insides of the pump station, rails, the mounts that the pumps stand on, the valving going out, that's all the stuff that just disintegrates over time. We can save a huge amount of money and keep the pump station viable. Electrically it's viable, pump-wise we have a ton of pumps. Really it's just the inside infrastructure, and it's kind of a little niche market. You got to find a small-time guy who does that versus bringing in the huge contractors. And we did it over at Wildflower a couple of years ago, and it was a huge success. Old Mount Farm's been due for a long time. This will replace the lid, which right now is like this big, and if you can imagine trying to pull pumps and human beings in and out of there, it's hard. So we'll have a new lid, new rails, new valves, new piping, all corrosion resistant or proof, and keep going with the current pumps we have, saving a lot of money long term. I would expect this to last outside of my tenure anyway. So really that's
How long?
25 years.
Why? Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were trying to tell us something.
No. I just think it's a wise move for a little bit of money. Versus a full replacement. Because concrete is in good shape, and electrically it's old, but it works. So.
Good. I meant to bring that memo too with the savings from the grinder pumps.
Yeah.
I want you to give a little update on that one of these days.
I can have it ready for the next board meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be fine. I asked Mike to get the information together now that we've got some time under our belt with our bringing more work in-house with the sewer department in reference to the grinder pumps. And now that we have a little bit of time, I think it would be good to take stock of where we are and consider the savings that we've realized to this point. Okay. Any questions on the pump issue? So this is a good, this has worked in other areas, so this is a very good solution and a huge savings for the residents in that area. It's a great job. Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Walden?
Yes.
Supervisor Barry?
Yes.
Resolution number 31 of 2017, a resolution approving the 2017 summer recreation day camp and pool staff salary matrices for employees.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. Now, we did increase just about all of the positions, at least on the lifeguard, WSI, and counselor side of things with our day camps and our pools. Now, of course, we've had another fairly large increase in the minimum wage, so we are attempting to stay competitive with the minimum wage. Although, if you have a job with the town, with one of the camps as a counselor, I don't think it's, yeah, and some of the lifeguard positions, in the very early years of your lifeguarding, you will not be making minimum wage. And that's because the town is not required to pay minimum wage. And we, instead, you know, everything's about supply and demand, right, Bev? You remember that? We used to do things based on supply and demand as opposed to cherry picking some artificial number out of the air and saying this is what people should get paid. So we go by supply and demand. So yes, you may, if you get hired by the town and it's in your first couple of years, you may not be making the minimum wage. So, forewarned. That really hasn't been an issue that I know of, Lori, right? I mean, to this point, because, you know, the teenagers that start working as lifeguards, 15, 16 years old, as lifeguards and camp counselors, a couple of years ago, they were fine with 7 1/4. We never had one complaint that I know of about their pay. They were perfectly fine having a great job for the summer and making 7 1/4. But obviously those expectations have been raised the last few years, so we have raised it. One position we raised much more than the others, and that was water safety instructors who provide lessons for our Learn to Swim program. Now, we are in short supply of WSIs, as they're called. Acronym is Water Safety Instructor. We are in short supply, so we did increase their hourly rate much more than the others. So again, going back to supply and demand, we're trying to attract either lifeguards that are WSI certified, that they will utilize that certification and join our Learn to Swim program, and we're hoping also to entice more lifeguards to get the certification, get that WSI certification. So, so we do have a shortage there, therefore we raised the pay a little more. Okay, we want to make sure all the very young children that sign up for our Learn to Swim program, they're allowed to go through and not be left out because we have a shortage of instructors. Okay. And I have to say, the regulations for all this training, for all of these pool positions, especially as you get up to WSI and people that teach the WSI classes, the regulations are getting out of control, and it's so centralized that it's putting a tremendous burden on the pool industry, an industry that's shrinking, by the way. And when you review the regulations and everything that you need to follow, and everything that somebody needs to go through to receive some of this training, you know why it's a shrinking industry. Because over-regulation and burdensome regulations will kill any industry. So, I mean, it's just one piece of the puzzle. It's just one reason why the industry is contracting. But it is contracting and will continue to. And it's a shame. So on that note, I can't wait for summer. I am very excited about the pool season. How about you, Lori? Are you excited down in Parks about the pool season?
Yes, we are. We're excited about that. We're excited about our counselors coming down.
Good. Fantastic. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Marwood?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 32 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the hiring of pool management for the 2017 season per the 2017 summer pool directors manager schedule A.
So,
Second?
moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard. We have 4 people in our management team. We We have Bruce Sutphin, who manages Locust Lane and Barney, Dave Chakowski, who's Learn to Swim director and a certified trainer, Brian Zerpak at Country Knolls Pool, and Dwayne Nichols, who's our pool director and camp aquatic director. Now we did condense this group a little bit a couple of years ago and had one manager for Locust Lane and Barney, which saved some money, which we need to do with a steady increase in the minimum wage. We're trying to keep increases in the programs to a minimum. However, when you're raising, now you look back 3 years and you look at where all these salaries were 3 years ago as compared to now, it's a big difference. Money, so we need to unfortunately raise the cost of the programs in order to cover the cost of the salaries. So we have raised our full-day camp $5 a year, and we'll raise it again this year. Unfortunately, the Learn to Swim program, we're going to raise the cost of that. Our lifeguarding classes, we're going to raise those, raise the cost of that about $25 alone there. So, so the effect of the minimum wage is pushing up the cost for all families, which we don't like to do, but we have no choice. So, we have a very experienced crew. They're all coming back, and we'll be ready to go. Anybody interested in working at the pools? You can do that. Just apply, and we'll give you an interview, and we'd love to talk to you. Okay?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard? Yes. Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Norwood? Yes. President Barrett?
Yes. Let me tell you something. What's the starting for the lifeguard? $9? $9. Not bad. That's good, not bad? You would have worked for $9, right? As a lifeguard on the sun, I think it's a nice job. No?
All I do is volunteer.
No, I meant back when you were 16.
I'll tell you about that.
All right. Okay.
Resolution number 33 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a 3-year contract for telephone and internet service with First Light.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Whalen, second by Ms. Swallowit. 5 years ago, I can't believe it's for 5 years already, we decided to switch our service to First Light. They ran the fiber. We had a 5-year agreement with them. Typically the agreements are 3 years, but we signed on for 5. There is an upfront cost of running the fiber for the company. So when you had those initial agreements with these companies, 5 years is typical. So, and we were more than happy to do it because we thought the service, we were right, the service is more reliable, definitely a quality fiber service, and also we saved a tremendous amount of money from where we were prior. Now with the, we've done a tremendous amount of work on the IT infrastructure of the town. We've spent quite a bit amount of money on our servers, upgrading our servers, instituting redundancy within our server system. So we've invested heavily in our IT infrastructure, but that is also put us in a position where we need to increase our bandwidth, and it's a very small increase in the monthly rate from what we're paying now. Having the senior center, who's now on our system, on our servers, that too, we had to do it anyway. We had to increase our bandwidth, but certainly having the senior center on our system does dictate that we do need larger capabilities. So we're going to a much larger bandwidth at a very small increase on a monthly basis. So that is what is included in the 3-year contract, and we also, as you can see in the contract, this also applies to our phone service, which we currently have at First Light as well. Okay. Any questions? Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallowit? Yes. Vice Barrett?
Yes.
Resolution number 34 of 2017, a resolution rescheduling the February 21st, 2017 town board meeting to February 27th, 2017.
Second by Mr. Whalen, second by Mrs. Standard, and this is to get that week's meeting out, the third meeting of the month, out of the break week for the school system. So we're going to put it to the last Monday in February as opposed to the third. Okay. Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 35 of 2017, a resolution appointing Andrew Casucci as the alternate member to the Emergency Services Advisory Board.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Wellwood, second by Mr. Whalen. This was a upon request of the District Fire District. So we are granting that request by making this change. Okay, Pat?
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Standard?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Holloway?
Yes.
Vice Mayor?
Yes.
Resolution number 36 of 2017, a resolution authorizing the lease of certain real property at the transfer station on Bishop Ferry Road.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Mrs. Standard, second by Mr. Whalen. Now, as part of the solar field that was built on top of the Cap landfill that just went live a little over a month ago, there was a fence. For those that haven't seen it, there was a fence erected around the entire Cap landfill. Basically, the lease that we have in place with our private sector partners covers all of the area inside the fence. So now, well, we previously, as a town, maintained that area on top of the Cap landfill. We would cut the grass on occasion and just generally make it look halfway decent and maintain it. But once this lease went into place, it was no longer our responsibility. So through our discussions with our private sector partners, we talked about the maintenance of the area on top of the Cap landfill. Now there is a large area where, as everybody knows, we plant the wildflowers for the birds and the bees and the butterflies and all of Frank's friends. I'm surprised Frank isn't here tonight. So that whole area is basically untouched. So what we're going to do is our private sector partners are going to pay us to maintain the area outside of the, as it's denoted here, outside of the 50-foot area around the solar array. The solar array takes up about, well, they've got cordoned off about 8 or 9 acres. So from 50 feet around the perimeter of the solar array forward to the rest of the area, we will assume responsibility for maintaining it for $1,200 annually that the company will pay the town. Now we'll continue to, now there's really two reasons for those distinctions. One, we did not want to maintain the area closest to the solar field. You know, it's not something that our personnel are used to dealing with, and we didn't want to take any chances getting too close to the solar array and possibility of damaging one of those solar panels. But I think the company was likewise concerned about, gosh, we don't want to cut down this area for the birds, the bees, and the butterflies. If we do that, the town's going to be mad at us. So I think between those two things, you know, we agreed to stay away from the solar panels. They agreed, well, we really don't want to deal with the rest of it. So so it will be left up to us to maintain it. And like I said, we've been maintaining it for years, obviously at our own expense. But in this case, with the lease such that it is, will be paid $1,200 annually. So I just wanted, if Frank was here, I just wanted to make sure he knew that we would not touch the wild meadow area. So Frank, if you're watching at home, we're not going to cut down your wildflowers. Any questions? Now I know Jeff said to me, he goes, well, let me get this straight. They're going to pay us for maintaining, yeah. He couldn't quite get that concept at first. Okay, Pen.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Stander?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallace?
Yes.
Supervisor Barry?
Yes.
Resolution number 37 of 2017, a resolution accepting easements from Jerry King Zhang for the future multi-use pathway and a common ingress, egress and utility easement.
So moved.
Second?
Moved by Mr. Romano, second by Ms. Wallwick. Discussion.
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Stander?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallace? Yes. Supervisor Barry?
Yes, any other business to come before the board this evening? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to public privilege. If you'd like to speak on a town matter, please raise your hand. We'll ask that you come forward. State your name and address for the record, and please keep it to 5 minutes or less. Yes, Bev, come on down. You know, I do want to say we have a lot of programs, new programs that we're putting together for the Senior Center, Clifton Park Senior Community Center, and one of those programs is the defensive driving class, which they gave years ago, but they stopped at some point. So we're bringing it back thanks to our volunteer instructors, Bev Zubb and Sandy Roth. So thank you, Bev.
You're most welcome.
And we're starting in April.
Yes, we
A lot
are.
of people are excited about it, too.
But that's not why I'm up here.
Oh, I know, but I figured I'd
Okay, thank you.
mention that as long as you were here.
Bev's up, Clifton Park, no, actually Rexford, my address is Rexford.
Clifton
One of
Park.
these days I'm gonna move to Clifton Park.
Yeah, Clifton Park. It's okay.
Anyway, I spend a lot of time up at the Commons,
Yeah.
at the senior center. And last year you did repave a lot of those roads, didn't you?
Yes, we have done
Yeah,
some paving and
lined-
striping.
And you striped them, yes.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the striping is very faded, and you never did stripe the exit side of the 2 lanes, one coming in, one going out. You didn't stripe that, and I would
Oh,
appreciate,
okay.
if you could stripe that. It makes a difference when people are going out,
Oh, okay.
okay?
Sure.
Being a safe driving instructor, I'm gonna make sure people.
Don't leave your class.
Touche.
But anyway, I
I
just
don't
want
want
to
to get
say,
the classes
you know,
off to a bad start.
I didn't see that Michael was here earlier. Hi, Mike, haven't seen you in a long
Hey,
time.
Matt.
You know, I used to drive a school bus, and he was a little spud on my bus.
Was he a problem?
No, Mike was a big kid.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, really, yeah. I'm not surprised.
I'm going to tell you a little story about driving school bus, too. I went up, they needed bus drivers, and the kids used to bring the menu home every Friday, you know, bus drivers needed, so I thought, I'm going to go up and see about driving the school bus. And I go up, and I had an interview, and he says, well, the pay is $2.15 a trip.
Oh.
A trip. This was back in 1965. A trip. Okay? Some of those trips were an hour long. And some of them were over to Clifton Knolls. You could do 3 trips to Clifton Knolls in an hour, in less than an hour.
Right.
So the senior drivers all got those runs, and us poor old, new drivers, we got all the runs that went up to Squat Hollow on 67. I'm like, you know what the bus drivers are getting Shenandoah now?
What?
$20 an hour.
Wow.
Yes. Long way from 215 a
Big
trip.
difference.
Yeah, long way from 215 a trip, so your people shouldn't complain.
But if you were a senior driver, you could get, let's see, $6.45 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said make 3 trips in an hour, right?
When you were a low man on the pole, you didn't get that chance.
No.
And then nobody wanted to do the kindergarten runs because they were at noontime, and you had one run. You went out at noontime, picked up the kindergarten, and brought them to school.
Should have been a lifeguard.
I enjoyed going to school, but they were big kids.
Should have been a water safety instructor.
No, I'm kind of enjoyed it.
Oh, there's still time.
Okay, so you're going to put lines on the road. That's all I care.
Yeah, I'll go out tomorrow.
No, you don't have to go out.
Oh, I'll do it this weekend.
All right.
We'll have a painting
Motion
party.
to adjourn.
Anyone else? Okay.
Motion to adjourn, she said.
Oh, okay. Motion to adjourn. All right, that's
Councilman Whalen?
Yes.
Councilman Stander?
Yes.
Councilman Romano?
Yes.
Councilman Wallace?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
She's 15 years old.